guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to Cabin Crew Simulator here in Roblox, where today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. Now, we know there's a brand new update coming very soon, but what I want to do today is talk about the 5 features that I would love to see in future updates in Cabin Crew Simulator. Now, before we get into it, guys, just to say right now, if you agree with any of my kind of ideas or any of the features that I want, let me know in the comment section down below, but also let me know as well, what features would you like to see in the future? Now, if you do enjoy this, smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you get notified when the update does drop, because your boy is going to be dropping many videos when it does come out. But let's first talk about then 5 features that I would love to see in Cabin Crew Simulator. Now, the first one is destinations. I want to talk about my first feature that I would love to see is a brand new destination. Now, when it comes to creating a flight and picking the destination, there's many places that you can pretty much go. We have, and it's crazy to say this right now, 4 locations in America. Crazy. All these locations in America, there's none in South America, there's none in Africa, there's only one kind of in Asia right now. We have 1 in Australia, and we only have, well, you can say technically we have 2 in Europe, but we don't have 1 in the United Kingdom. Now, obviously, I'm going to be biased because I'm British, but think of the busiest airports in the entire world right now. In the top 5 lists, London Heathrow is there. And it pains me to say it because I'm from Birmingham in the UK, and I would love to have my hometown as a destination in here. But I know London is always, or London Heathrow is always going to be the one that they, or you know, you would pick if you were to pick a UK destination or airport. But the craziest thing is right now, the UK is not even on the map. Who made this map right now? I need to find you, I need to destroy you. But I would love to see Heathrow or London or just even a UK-based airport in this game. Imagine landing and you can see like the London Eye, Big Ben, Houses of Parliament in the distance right now. I mean, obviously then it makes sense to kind of have London as it, which could then lead on to like a new mission where you have to become like a secret spy like James Bond or something. You know what I mean? London sounds like the perfect new destination. What destination would you add? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Now, the second feature that I would also love to see in this game is the ability to set ticket prices. Now, you may be thinking, yo, Seniac, this is a Cabin Crew Simulator game right now. Your game is you're meant to simulate being cabin crew, which I completely understand. But cabin crew in this game have the ability to customize aircraft, to buy aircraft. So although the game is loosely, you know, based on being a cabin crew member, there is other stuff that you wouldn't normally do as a cabin crew. And I would love to have the ability to select the ticket price. Now, if you set the ticket price too high, so like as you're kind of selecting all the options and all that kind of jazz and whatnot, it will tell you how much you can earn. So if you set the ticket price too high, you're gonna get less people who want to buy a ticket to get on your plane, which means you make less money. But to counterbalance that, if you set your ticket price high, passengers expect certain things on the plane. So yes, you'll get less passengers, but if you provide them with all the food and drink options, they're more likely to then pay the higher ticket prices. So it kind of works. You provide all the meals, you set the price high, everyone will pay for it. If you don't provide all the meals, you set your price high, nobody pays for it. And it's a way in which you can kind of then earn more money, or if you want to be a budget airline, like Ryanair or something like that, you can then provide nothing, set the price low, and have a maxed out plane. It's a way in which you can kind of control how many people board your plane. Because right now, when you kind of like say, if I pick this plane, for example, has 10 passengers. You don't get 10 passengers, it just says that's the max it can hold. It's completely random, the number in how many passengers actually get on the plane, but I feel like ticket prices could be a way in which you could kind of control it, and you can kind of then kind of have some level of control. I've literally said that twice right now, on how many people get on the plane and how much money you can actually earn. It could be pretty good. And maybe you can have like trending events in the game which fluctuates the price of tickets. Like, you know, there's a huge influx of passengers that want to go to Tahiti. So you could then fly to Tahiti, meaning that you know you're going to get a maxed out plane. You set the price high because you know you're going to get a maxed out plane. And it's a way that you can kind of earn more money. It's almost like we have a slight little bit of an economy within the game. And that sounds kind of cool. Now, what would you guys do? Would you guys like to see something like the ability to set your own ticket prices in the game? I kind of would like that idea. There's a lot you can expand off it. And if there were to implement a ticketing system, what do you think would be the best way to implement it? And how do you see a ticketing system actually working? And how would it affect passengers, planes, and potentially the money that you make? I think it would be pretty damn cool. Now, the third feature that I would love to see in Cabin Crew Simulator as a potential future update, and I'm going to say this and you're all going to go crazy, a new plane. But not just any new plane. I would really love a Concorde in this game. Now, I know before you say it, Seniac, you've clickbait us in the past. You put a silhouette of a Concorde and a thumbnail in a previous video. I know. But that was subliminally. I know I did that, but I have a good reason for it. It was kind of subliminally kind of manifesting it. I was kind of doing it so the developer's seen it, so it kind of pull it in their mind. You see what I was trying to do there? I was trying to secretly put the idea in the developer's mind, and potentially that's what we were going to get. Now, why would I love a Concorde? Well, many reasons for it. If we create a flight, all these planes here are pretty much planes that kind of exist in real life. But it's all heavily based around current planes. There's not many planes there, if there's any, that no longer exist or no longer work or no longer are utilized. I'm sure someone's going to say, Seniac, well, this plane does no longer work. This plane's decommissioned. But I would love them to add in kind of historic planes. Not like old planes, but like planes that used to be around. A Concorde. Just imagine if they started adding in kind of, you know, historic planes, you know, past planes that have been decommissioned, because then you can create an historic airline. You could build an airline based on planes that have been decommissioned as a way to kind of buy cheap planes. But having a Concorde would be so good because it flies super fast. But the only downside is you can't fit that many passengers on it. So it's not like it would be something huge that would overtake a 747 or an A380. But having those historic planes or those unique planes that we can pretty much pick from someone like me who has bought everything that I can possibly buy in this game, I would like the idea and I would like the ability to buy cheaper planes, historic planes, limited edition planes, whatever you want to call them, just so I can enjoy the end game part of it. Developers, if you're watching this right now, think of end game stuff right now. Historic planes, Concordes, that kind of jazz. The end game player could do so much more with it. And I don't know whether they'll add special abilities to planes, like maybe the Concorde flies quicker, but it makes no sense because the flights are based on how quick you kind of serve somebody. So I don't ultimately know. Not 100% sure. But it would be so good if we can have historic planes. If we can fly on a Concorde right now. I could literally recreate a British Airways Concorde. And I can fly from London, yeah, to New York. Because that was one of the popular routes that the Concorde used to do. And by oh by, it could fly across the Atlantic and so fast. More planes, please. More planes. Now, my fourth feature that I would love to see in a future Cabin Crew Simulator update is loading displays. Now, you may be wondering, wait, what does that even mean? Like, is that cargo? Is that passengers? Well, if I quickly create a flight, right? Now, the developers did add something like this previously in the past. I'm going to quickly create a flight real quickly, boys, so I can kind of explain and show you what I mean. So, no disasters, please. Gate 1, which is all the way down here. Now, I've been asking for this feature for a very, very long time. And I feel like the developers slightly listened to me, but they didn't implement it in a way that I thought was beneficial. And that is loading displays. Now, not only loading displays, but it does lead on to action displays as well. Now, they added in this, the ability for you to see how many passengers that you have and how many passengers need to be boarded. Now, that's amazing. we can then find out how many more people we've got to go before something actually happens. But I feel like there is not great. It should be, hold on, let me get on the plane. Let me get on the plane right now. We should have the ability to see this on our little iPad somewhere. So when we start boarding, the number should appear. But I would love the number to also change based on not only loading, but also on the action. So we could say here, we have 0 of 8 passengers. So we know we've got 8 passengers somewhere around here left to board the plane, right? That's what I would love. But then when we've got to serve food and drinks, it would say, I've got to serve 50 foods or 75 drinks. And it will say like 0 out of 75. And then when you've done 10, it will say 10 out of 75. Just so you know, you can have a quick glance to understand where the current progress of the plane is. So you know that, oh, I've only got 10 people left to serve food and drinks. Okay, I'll wait for a second to do something. When you've got to then pick up the trash, you can then go, well, hold on. I've picked up all the trash here. Why can't I find anybody? And you quickly go over to your tablet right now and go, oh, wait, there's actually one person left that I need to pick up trash from. Same with the overhead lockers. Same with the seatbelts and all that. I would like to know every statistic for progression on my plane. It's one way in which I can kind of understand how far into the flight that I am. It will be a way in which I can understand what I have left to do in my plane. I can then make the decision where if I've got 10 remaining, whether I do it or leave my AI to do it. Now, I know what you're thinking. So like, you make your AI do it anyway. It doesn't matter how many's remaining. I know. Shut up. Right? But I feel like having that stat or having a display somewhere to tell us how many items of a particular action are remaining would really help us in kind of understanding the progression and where we currently are on our flights. Do you think that's a good idea? Because I've been asking for that for so long, and we have it, and they implemented it recently in a previous update where it shows us here. But I feel like here, well, it does make sense that it goes here. It makes complete sense why it goes there. But I don't understand why we can't have it in our little tablet and then it also apply to all the other actions. Food, garbage, seatbelts, overhead lockers. You know, why? Why not? The amount of times that I'm ready to land a plane and I think I've done all the seatbelts. Turns out I've got a couple of actions remaining because I have a disruptive passenger and I didn't even know. It would be nice to check it, especially on an A380 or really big planes where it's legit you can't tell. The plane's way too big, so having that extra statistic really does help you out. What do you guys reckon about that? Let me know in the comment section down below. Oh, before I reveal my 5th feature that I would love to see in a brand new Cabin Crew Simulator update right now. My first one was potentially a new destination. I would love to see London. The second one was the ability to maybe kind of implement ticket prices to earn more money, but it has a knock-on effect if you don't have all the quality services and food implemented in the plane, which is pretty good. The third one was a brand new plane in a Concorde, which I would love to see, or just a new plane in general. I would like a Concorde, please. And the fourth one was having the ability to see the progression of where your plane currently is. Wow, as this dude completely jumps around me right now, I'm about to reveal my 5th feature that I would love to see in a brand new Cabin Crew Simulator update. And it's a new disaster. Believe it or not, it's a new disaster. This dude's going crazy right now. Now, currently, if we go and check out our disasters, we only have a couple to pick from. Now, I know it is quite difficult because there's not many disasters that you can kind of implement in the game in general. But if I go to create a flight, select you, here are the emergencies. So we have cabin fire, we have crash landing, we have depressurization, we have water landing, we have unconscious pilots, the ability to do random and no. But unconscious pilots was a fairly newer one out of all of the disasters that we currently have right now. And I love disasters. It kind of spices things up when you're doing your flights and stuff like that. It kind of, if you're trying to grind some sweet money and sometimes you get a little bit bored, throw a little disaster in. Have a little bit of fun, boys. Kill some people. Who knows? But I would love another disaster, another emergency. You may be wondering, well, what would it be, Seniac? What could we potentially have? Now, I've given it some, some hard thoughts right now and some, long thinking processes and just trying to understand what disaster could we have that would make sense. Because I thought to myself, oh, what about a bird strike? That's evil, very evil. But how would it affect the plane? Stuff like that. It sounds pretty cool. What if we had like a failed landing where they had to abort it, an aborted landing? That's pretty cool, but how would that work in the game? It doesn't really make much sense. And I also had the thought as well, what if we had to do like a detour? We couldn't land at the airport we wanted to and had to have a detour. But then again, I don't know how that works within the game. But I thought to myself, oh, there's a really obvious one that kind of makes sense. Like, makes real sense. Now, I know we have a crash landing, which the plane lands because the engine's set on fire and it goes kaboom. I get that. I get that. We also have a water landing where we just land in the water. Now, I kind of wanted to combine those two to make sense. And I don't know whether this feels like a crash landing, but I would like an engine failure. Now, I know the crash landing, the engine's set on fire. So, would you class that as having an engine failure? I don't know. But the difference with that one is the crash landing, the plane lands and then explodes. Devastation. Now, I'm thinking of just a generic engine failure. You're skadooning along, doing your flight, and then before you know it, boys, before you know it right now, the engines fail. You lose all power, the lights go out in the cabin, the engines stop rotating, and then you're gliding for a landing. But what would be cool in that disaster if there was a percentage chance on where you land? You either land in the water, which would then trigger the water landing emergency. You could combine them. It could be fun. You could then land on a runway like the crash landing, plane explodes, or you could land in a field and then have to try and get people evacuated. I feel like it would have an engine failure, power goes out, you can't do nothing, and there's like a 50-50 chance, or whatever you want to call the percentages, on where the plane would land and what it would then trigger. It could be pretty interesting. It's a disaster that is always making you think what could happen, and you don't know what could happen. So those are my 5 features that I would love to see in a brand new Cabin Crew Simulator update. If you're watching developers, love you. If any of these features get added, you know who made them up. Your boy right now. So just to recap, boys, London, ticket prices, what did it say? The Concorde, progression labels or kind of statistics or, you know, whatever. And obviously number 5, a new disaster in an engine failure. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What would you like to see in a brand new Cabin Crew Simulator update? But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.